It's been a while since we dropped in on the AIU video, and well, this young lady, emphasis on the word young, on screen is Cyntoia Brown, who I've recently had a bit of a debate about with another individual who was excited about her upcoming and pending release from prison. I believe the governor has given her a pardon. Now, this young lady is, well, a murderer. She killed a guy in cold blood. And according to, the media and the story that I was combating, she was an innocent, didn't do nothing, who was escaping sex trafficking and sex slavery, when in all reality, she had a pimp. She was a willing participant in whatever monetary deal that she had with the gentleman, and the gentleman that she murdered was sleeping. And she put four in him in his back. That is murder. That's damn near premeditated murder. I'm pretty sure a good lawyer can definitely zhush that up to premeditated murder. But here she's been presented. I mean, I want you to pay attention to the pigtails that she has. It's to make her look really young, really innocent. And what kind of monster could you be to let this beautiful young lady just sit and rot in a jail cell? How could you? How could you be so cruel? How could she be so cruel as to take this man's life, though? How? I mean, let me tell you guys something. Back in the 1800s, people were getting married at 10 and 12, And so when it comes to capacity and what people are, capable of doing, it is such a nuanced and individualized thing. But to tell me that at the age of 16 to pick up a firearm and let it off into another human being, I'm sorry. I'm just not with her release. I'm really not. But the Young Turks were one of the main pressers for her release. They were one of the biggest microphones saying, yeah, we got to get her out of prison. She was being sex trafficked and all this other stuff. This guy had purchased this young girl for sex. And as someone who has always been around urban communities, which this young lady is from, as well as been 16 myself and known 16-year-old girls myself, let me tell you something. Yeah, they don't know. They don't know it all, but you can't tell them that they don't know it all in many cases. Hashtag not all. We're going to do all that, of course. But in many cases, they are grown. They feel as if they are grown. They feel as if they got this whole life thing figured out. Trust me, I was amongst them too. I definitely had that mindset and mentality in 16 and 17. Like, yo, okay, boom, I'm finally getting ready to knock this out. I tell you, it doesn't quite work out the way you think it's gonna work out, huh? But either ways, I'd say, but the capacity in which to just cold-bloodedly murder and take a life like that is something that shouldn't be ignored. She was sentenced properly, and it's really due to public pressure that she's being released. So as TYT gloats, Devin here has just got finished tearing Hassan Piker a new asshole when it comes to communism and Marxism, and whereas he is a child of privilege, he also feels as if he is a leader of a revolution. It was some pretty funny stuff, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about Cyntoia Brown, and really, as someone who is from because I can't say exact same, but a similar environment as Ms. Brown, whereas Mr. Tracy and TYT and Hassan Pikers of the world, they're more of a silver spoon type. I definitely feel as if there is something I can add to this video, so let's get into it.
Recently, a murderer was set free from jail for political reasons. She was a person who shot and killed someone in cold blood with no reason. Zero reason. She was let out of jail. So she killed a man, she's now free. Seems fucked up, right? No justice, no peace, what the fuck? Here are some mitigating factors that you need to keep in mind. The woman was half black. Not convinced that we should let her free? I mean, she's half black, guys. Come on. Save the blacks? Okay.
I mean, she does have a whole Keisha Keys thing going on. Let's be real.
If that doesn't convince you, how about this? The man she killed was a white male. And do you know what regressive people consider the killing of a white male?
Rest in peace, Johnny Michael Allen. Honestly, you didn't deserve that. Because, like, as far as jacked up as predilections towards a young girl is, you don't deserve to get bodied in the back, get bodied in your sleep like that by any stretch of your imagination. So yeah, that is fucked up. I'll 130% agree with you there, brother Tracy.
A good start. So let's take a look at the celebratory videos with Hassan Piker about the freeing of cold-blooded killer known as Cyntoia Brown.
Nashville, Tennessee, a group of protesters interrupt the governor on clemency for a woman whose fate lies in his hands.
You know what's interesting is that it's like the 35% in action. I always talk about the 35% in my videos where I see an attractive woman and I give her 35% leeway. You know, like, okay, yeah, I'll give you that 35%, but and this is like the 35% at a full-on 100 max out, all right? Because you have a cute female that, you know, you got all these people just convinced that, hey, she was a victim here and they are pressing for her release, where in all reality, she was an awful human being and placed herself in that position more than anything else.
Cyntoia Denise Brown has served 15 years of a life sentence for killing a man who bought her for sex when...
I ain't gonna see. That's the thing. You can't stunt. She's an attractive chick, and that's the thing. Who was that? Prison Bay, the guy Jeremy Meeks with the eyes and everything, and it's like, oh my goodness, like when people are attractive, people tend to be far more agreeable and wanting to see the best in you because you're hot. That's it. Like, I wish we didn't ignore this. That's I really wish that we just, oh my goodness, everybody's beautiful, and yeah, I'm sure everybody's be okay, yeah. And then there's people who just like, okay, bet I would definitely your loins start talking like, you know what? I would not mind being inside of there. You see what I'm saying?
She was just 16 years old.
Oh, Tamir Rice was 12. What was the going rate for an hour with Tamir Rice? I don't know. But her going rate was $200 for an hour. Hassan, you don't buy women, okay? I know you're a Muslim and you come from the Middle East. You rent them, okay? Don't act like this.
Oh, you purchase their time, baby. So that's the thing. You ain't buying her. You purchasing her company. Can you dig that, player?
This is the first time this has happened. A dude came up. Business arrangement. This wasn't her first time out. She said, it's $200 for the night. He said, I'll pay you $100. They said on $150. It's a win-win situation. She knew what she was doing. She wasn't a baby.
And my man haggled it. My man haggled it down to $150. You know what? So he had enough for the. So if he probably had like 500 in his pocket. Let's be real, but. He haggled it down from 200 to $150, and then so that's enough for the room right there. I mean, shoot, my man, like, yo, there you go, good job.
Teen is not, so spare me with the moralizing about, oh, she was just 16. Give me a break. The fact that she was prostituting has nothing to do with her murdering a man in cold blood. Okay? Of course, in this video and in all the videos relating to this, nobody will give her credit for anything. She is the victim. Of course, she's a black. I mean, she's not really a black at all. Her mother was a skank and a drugged up, drunken piece of white trash.
Or a mud shark. I mean, there's so many different terminologies that we throw around for on the racial angle. But either ways, yeah, there is no space for that argument that she was oh so young and innocent and everything else like that. She was a part of the gang. Go read Pimp from Iceberg Slim. I read that book when I was like 12. I gotta tell you guys, like, the streets have always been the streets, and that don't change until you go into these environments and actually change the policies and the way things are run in those environments, which hasn't changed, over in all this time. Then no, it's always going to be as the game always going to be there to be played, no matter what. Hell, even if you do change the policies, there's pimping out in Whitesville.
Hooked up with a black guy at some point. He ran for the hills, and I can't even blame him.
Biological mother side of the family is extremely heavily loaded with psychiatric disorders.
Bipolar personality disorder, suicidal, manic depressive, which is an guarded condition.
Does she have gold teeth? Woo! Yeah, bro. Like, oh my goodness, that yikes.
At times I've had homicidal thoughts for people that have hurt me. I've been raped, and I've always wanted to do things to them for hurting me.
And I can't even blame him. He was nowhere to be seen in this woman's life, but apparently the residual melanin in her skin has made her the darling of the regressive world. Brought in with a boyfriend. I think he was 24 years old when she was 16. So, a rapist. That guy who went by the street name of Cutthroat. I like to call him Cuddy, because that's just how close I am with him. So,
okay, there's only Cuddy, sir, and he left the game and became a boxing coach. So don't do that.
Let me just discuss this for you so we can keep this in mind as we watch these videos. They're going to frame it as a Black Lives Matter thing, as a black woman getting sent to jail, and that's justice somehow. That's an amazing take. I want you to keep in mind, again, the things you're not hearing. Who is talking about the victim? The dude she shot was just some guy looking to have a good time, was willing to pay hard-earned cash to for an hour to perform a service, and was killed in his sleep, shot 4 times in the back.
Yeah, I mean, world's oldest profession, right? Game always gonna be there. What the hell? And you got these people who like who are so in their own world, so quick to build their own narrative that they completely ignore all the other particulars besides the fact that she's cute and she's apparently speaks nicely. So what she is and what she is capable of is secondary to them. And most of the people behind a lot of this are other, well, quote unquote, other black women, right?
Executed. By the way, she said she executed him. They recorded her prison phone call to her mama, and she's like, yeah, I executed this dude. So, we have white crackhead, meth head, drunken whatever, mother. She hooks up with a man. That lasted 10 seconds. He's gone. The kid is born. I guess they're from a ghetto-ass neighborhood. She meets with Cutthroat, a black man. He turns her into a whore. He pimps her out. She then meets a John, who is a white man, kills him in his sleep for no reason, with her own gun, then takes a shower, then robs him, goes to jail. 15 years or so pass, and people are clamoring to let her out because save the blacks. Oh, fuck. Now,
yeah, it's mind-blowing to me as well. Like, dude, you like straight up murder someone. And you see how young she's looking in these photos and the video from way back when, but that don't change what you did, how you went about it.
Zero criticism will be levied at her completely absentee father or at her black boyfriend/pimp.
But that's the thing. The government needs these people to exist and to be around, and there to not be any good mental facilities for them to go to, because that's how they get them into the prison system. Make no mistake, she's designed to be in prison. She's designed to go out and make people that will be in prison, because that's the main reason for all the promiscuity within these types of communities and environments, is to make more people to feed to a prison system. It's sad, it's depressing, but it's the reality of far too many of them. And until we get into those places, we change these environments and at a legitimate level, not just more programs and nonsense like that, then these scenarios and these types of people will continue to be brought onto the world. I mean, no matter what, they'll be brought into the world, but less of them, or let's try to ratio this out with, decent folk, and decent folk is hard to build a decent folk around so many broken people. And that's what from the trailer parks to the projects to all of these different low income, basically immigrant landing zone spaces that we have in the United States, because they're all redlined, trust and believe. This is manifest destiny. Is that what it's called?
But somehow this is racial, and if the races were reversed, you can bet your fucking ass that they would be like, keep that white bitch in jail. She killed a black.
Brown says when she was just 16, after being forced into prostitution
By a black man.
a 43-year-old man took her home and tried to have sex with her.
Tried to have sex with her.
See, that's the thing though. Like, I sincerely doubt she was forced. Yo, I mean, like, get on the track. He had him a youngin'. Get on the track. I'm telling y'all, read Pimp. It's a good book. Iceberg Slim.
Oh God, let me clutch my pearls. As if she wasn't aware of that. They agreed to have sex. She was paid to have sex. Cyntoia, you had one job. You had one job and you failed.
Brown says in self-defense, she shot him because she feared for her life. And
Self-defense.
Okay, to be fair, did she fail at that job? I mean, he was asleep, so apparently, I mean, I assume he got off, right? He was passed out, so I mean, maybe she did the job. He was doing, like, oh man, I just got this great young vagina. This is great. Oh, oh shit.
Well, that was complete bullshit, so how about a little mention of that? The jury laughed at that. The jury took 6 hours to be like, this bitch is long teeth. Why would this guy, a 43-year-old guy, renting a chick for an hour, what motivation does he have to kill her? An army guy, a guy with a job, a guy with money, a guy with a home? You can understand his motivation to drop a load on her. She's rather attractive. Okay, so he's gonna have a little fun, but kill her? For what reason? There is no fucking reason.
despite her age, as an adult,
And she should be tried as an adult. This is not a 10-year-old. This is not a 3-year-old. She's a 16-year-old grown-up. And when you kill someone, I mean, it's a different debate. This whole thing of how should we punish people who kill another human being? Or how should we write that down because they're young? I don't know about all that. How about you?
But that's the thing. See, a lot of our entire justice system has how do I put it? Like statutes, right? So the circumstances in which someone takes that life, it ranges from manslaughter to homicide, right? So to have the circumstances that we have here with this young lady and her putting I mean, that was the footage from the crime scene that he was displaying. The four holes in the back of that one guy. Yeah, that was the footage from the crime scene. She sat there, aimed them up, and knocked them out. And so, thusly, I'm sorry, 16, 12, Maggie Simpson, go ahead. Like, I believe Maggie Simpson should be in prison, okay?
Justice. Death is death. Murder is murder. These people knew what they were doing. This is not some 2-year-old who happened to step on a trigger. She executed a man in cold blood.
sentenced to life in prison and won't be eligible for parole until she's 69 years old.
Oh, poor her. You know who's never gonna be 69 years old? The dude she killed. I like how that guy's name, I can't even remember his name right now. Who cares about that guy? I like how they're painting her as the victim when she's literally the person who victimized someone else. She ain't the victim. She's the perp.
After her case went viral last year, activists pushed for clemency to reduce her sentence.
Why? I like how that's just already assumed like that's a good thing. Activists push to reduce her sentence. Why? She's a murderer.
Yeah, she is. She's a murderer. And if we're going to be real, the people that are pushing for her release and the people that got her release only got her release because she's an attractive young lady. That's it. Let's be 100% up and down with that. If she looked like her mama would be rotten, okay? And that's the weird thing, because the combination always comes out dope. Like, yo, mixed people do tend to be far more attractive. Ask Derek Jeter, ask Holly. I think Halle Berry's mixed. I think Mariah Carey's mixed. You know, all the extra fun ones. Like, yo, it got a little something in them. So I mean, and it's the beauty of America. It's what makes America great, isn't it? That we can produce some very, very attractive people. Within our melting pot, when that ghetto trash meets the mud shark, you know, it's like when Harry met Sally. But instead of staying together, they just create a person and leave it into the world to its own devices, and you end up with situations like this. So with that being said, yeah, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike it, go ahead, do that too. I ain't scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And speak. Let me know, what do you think in the comments. I honestly just don't think she should be getting released. I'm not sure what this is going to spell out, but ultimately I do wish her the best. I hope she doesn't reoffend. I hope she has a family and has a career and does all the great things in life that she is capable of doing. All right, hopefully she can end up like my man Jeremy Meeks. You know, get her some money bags. You know, fingers crossed for her. Seriously. But let me know, what do you think in the comments, and until the next one.